The other day I was asked by one of my students to touch this topic of what it means to being natural. We hear this expression, the natural way. What does it really mean? Rightfully, he brought up an interesting argument or element, saying, I have a daughter. If I leave her do whatever she wants, she's gonna go and kill other animals, or she's not gonna do good things. I don't remember exactly what was the thing that he brought up. So he was a little bit like puzzled. And he says, okay, in one end I feel that I have to leave everything naturally happening around me. In the other hand, I feel that certain things are not right. And I think we need to understand a little bit what it means to be natural. First of all, does it really take effort to be natural? Do we really need to read texts such as the Tao Te Ching or any kind of philosophy that teaches us to be natural? That's actually quite unnatural if you think about this, because intellectually you're trying to find some common or good behaviors or good way of proceeding in life which are constructed by the mind, and you try to apply them to yourself, which at the end of the day means you are using a structure, you're putting certain limits of what should be your conduct in life, which inevitably they create some conflict. They are the opposite of being spontaneous and natural. But at the same time, on the other extreme, you have people who say, oh, we have to be like kids, we have to be naturally living life and expressing ourselves spontaneously. And on one end, we were having this discussion where he was saying, well, the world is not that nice, no? At the same time, we cannot be so spontaneously living life, because life has some kind of dangers and some kind of people who act in a very erratic way. So what's the way? Well, the way should be quite simple in reality, because we are part of nature. So if we are naturally expressing ourselves, integrating with life, no problem will come out of it. But the problem is that we are enclosed into this space called identity, where we live a separation with the world. So if people are left to act as they want in the world, they might go and kill other people. They might go and steal, because naturally they feel that it is a good thing to do for them. Maybe because they need money, or maybe because they are angry with somebody or some kind of revenge and they want to go and kill someone else. So in that case, we need to put those people into jail, right? Because they represent a common danger for everybody. So the problem of being natural actually shouldn't be a problem, first of all. But it does become a problem because we have become too much intellectual. And or you may say, but the kids goes around, does whatever they want, and they are quite natural. We have to become like kids. I'm not sure about that, because the kids is, in my opinion, the less evolved human being on the planet, type of human being on the planet, because you do like this to a kid, and the kid is gonna cry and be upset for a couple of hours when it's really a small thing, and out of a small thing the kid is making a big problem out of it. So in my opinion, it doesn't see life correctly, and we do need to apply certain kind of traumatic experience in one sense to the kids. I don't have kids, luckily, to adjust certain behaviors that represent a common way of being in life that is respectful, and it is in line with other people, because otherwise we screw it up. So while we need to be traumatized, I think, at the beginning with a kind of structure and behaviors, conduct and all the rest of it, at some point we also go beyond it to become naturally operating in life. But how do we do that? Well, first of all, to be spontaneous and to be natural, it means that we have no business with life. We are not attached to end goal. We are not trying to get something from somebody. we are not going selfish about life, right? Because otherwise our action cannot be natural. Of course, they will be driven from some kind of strategy and intellectual movement that will not give us the possibility of being fully open. But if you think about this, when we are, for instance, in the beach, so we go for a holiday, no? We are fully relaxed, and we are really pleasant within ourselves. We act pleasantly and in a very nice way with all the people around us. But when we are very grumpy, with lots of conflicts inside, we go around and we create friction with life. So what I'm trying to say is to being natural means to remove internal conflicts. So between thinking, feeling, and what I do, it means really to listen to ourselves 100%, constantly, giving full attention to life, and natural action will take place, which at that stage will be effortless actions, what in the Chinese philosophy they called wu wei, non-doing, which is not doing nothing. It's actually naturally expressing life, because at that stage, like when you're hungry, you go to the kitchen and you eat. That's not some kind of artificial way of being. It's a natural calling. It's time to eat, so you go and go for it. So unfortunately, we try to approach all these matters and we make life very complicated, especially when we get into this kind of spiritual field that, in my opinion, should be dropped as fast as we could, and become responsible in the sense of not following any guidelines, not following any structure, not following any beliefs, any conduct, right? Because at the end of the day, everything will become unnatural. So we are going far from the natural way, although we're trying to study the natural way, maybe with the Tao Te Ching or some kind of philosophy. So life at its simple level, essential level, it doesn't require any kind of artificial conduct to be applied to it. But at the same time, we need to be aware and understand that the human being needs to have a sense of what's happening around us, because certain things are not commonly socially accepted, or are not socially good. So we do need to play in this game in a conscious way, in the sense that we do need to understand what's happening, but at the same time we are a natural expression of life. So nothing should be, in my opinion, judged, even our bad aspects, because by judging a bad aspect that I might have, I create more conflict. So I get far away from being natural. I become rigid. I become I have a problem. I have a problem to solve, which is me doing something bad and myself judging that action. So it's a difficult and simple topic, in my opinion, because when we are pleasant, when we are open to life, naturally we care about everybody. As I said before with the example of the beach, when I'm pleasant inside, I'm pleasant also with other people. So the first thing that, in my opinion, should be worth to do is to look for ourselves where we are without judgmental action, and to try to improve this. And working, of course, with the body, and having a pleasant body gives birth to pleasant emotion, to less thinking, to less thoughts. In fact, the natural way is not a thinking process. Of course, we are aware of what we're doing. We're not throwing words around and acting unconsciously. But because somehow we don't want anything from anybody. We don't want to cheat other people. We don't want to rape other people. We don't want to rob other people. We are just so nicely pleasant inside that we are not looking for any kind of external satisfaction, that our actions, they become natural, effortless, And at the same time they will carry a sort of a fragrance together with it that other people will feel, like an opening wave that might give even to a person who is really rigid in front of you the possibility of understanding that even on a subtle level, which cannot of course be talked too much, the possibility of being open, of being together. And at that stage, that for me is what love is. Love is an empathic, invisible transaction, not really transaction, action, natural action taking place that carries all these qualities that we try to impose on ourselves wrongly, in my opinion, with the system of beliefs and religion, such as compassion. I have to be compassionate, I have to be nice, I have to be a good man, I have to be a good lady. When in reality, when we are fully open, without wanting to have anything back from anybody, we just become natural. And becoming natural means also to be less. So to be less of the identity. The more the sense of identity, the more the sense that I'm confined into this body-mind space becomes thin, the more I can be natural, the more I can carry on naturally those manifestations, which, as I said, could be caring for others, compassion, love, true love for others, not a transaction. Like, I love you, but you have to love me back, so I do this to be nice, so you're going to be nice with me. If you don't do that, I'm going to get upset. All this business, it's a mind game. So the solution to be natural, well, is to be less important, to be less demanding towards life, to relax, learn to relax. As I said, relaxing this is the first step that we can take, because when we remove tension from the body, like we do in the qigong, in the first program of qigong, our mind change, our emotion change. If you think about the way people walk or stand, every posture carries somehow kind of environment of emotions and internal state. So removing the physical, working with the dance can be the first way, dance manifestation of ourselves can be the first way that we can approach that natural way of being, by aligning ourselves with the structure, the intelligence of the body also. And of course, cultivating vital energy, all those things can be a good part of this game. Not really the only way to go about it, because if we manage to be 100% true all the time to what we feel, what we think, what we do, but not in a separate way, in a very natural way, everything happens together, the natural way will not be searched through books, will not be searched through some kind of dogmatic approach. If I have to get angry for a second to somebody, I'm just gonna do that because it's needed at that moment, but that feeling is not gonna last, because it's not attached to an identity. It's just a necessary at that moment expression of life, which might have a role, such as, you know, I have a kid, the kid is about to jump on the other side of the road, and I get angry, because I have to traumatize the kid, make him understand, make her understand that there is a danger right there. So it's not good to do that. The kid is not that aware of life. So the idea of becoming back like kids, it's quite a silly idea. It's a kind of new agey and neo-spiritual whatever it's happening right now in the world, which is a mess in this sense, which doesn't lead anywhere. We need to understand, we need to grow. At the beginning, due to the fact that we live in society, we might have to get the role of the identity of the person. But seeing how things are going, there must be a point where the identity, because of the great suffering that it leaves, all the conflicts, it needs to find a deeper space which is non-conceptual, is not made by thinking, is not made by beliefs, because all those things will never solve the game.